All right. Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
go
I'm
ahead.
so excited. Today we have another member spotlight, and her name is Nothemba, and she's originally from Eastern Cape. And I want her to share with us her journey and her story. And I'm so excited for you all to meet her. So, hello, Nothemba. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I am well. I am well. Can you just share with us, well, I guess introduce yourself. What do you do
Yeah.
and where you currently are in
Mm.
life and just share with us, the start of your journey.
Okay, thank you for the platform. And I'm sorry, I know it's nighttime over there. Okay, so my name is Nothemba Ngqola. I'm originally from Eastern Cape. I'm 25 years old. Oh God, I'm old. I'm 25 years old, a final year student at the University of South Africa. Yeah, I'm doing B.Ed, bachelor degree in senior and FET, and hopefully I'll be finishing this year. Yeah, that's who I am. Yeah.
Nice. Very, very, very nice. And now can you tell us how did you get there? I know you're from Eastern Cape. How was it living there? And tell us about, how did you even decide to go this route and not go and just work and get a job?
A job. Okay, as I said before, I'm originally from Eastern Cape, but we grew up in Joburg. My dad used to work here, and my parents were always staying this side. We just traveled to Eastern Cape during December time for family time, December and June. So I've always been in Joburg, was always good at school and whatever. But let me tell you, it was not easy. As I said, I'm doing my final year this year. I should have been done a long time ago, probably 2019. I should have finished, yeah, but I didn't. Started at UJ and that didn't work out. And to a certain extent, I feel that is where my story originally began because everything had been planned out for me. Went to school, primary, high school, after school, didn't take a gap year because already I got an acceptance from the University of Johannesburg, which is a big deal. Which is a big deal. Went there, and let me tell you, it was a mess. It was a mess. I couldn't cope. It was a hard because I was used to the in school environment where everybody knew me, everybody knew the smart kid and whatever. And I got there and nobody would even bat an eye on me. I'm this girl now. And this huge premises, I felt so alone to a point where I literally sank into, I don't want to say depression, but it was hard for me. It was hard to a point where I didn't even finish that year. I just dropped out without my parents knowing that I've dropped out, which was very hard. And I didn't even have a plan, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, who to talk to. And you can't go to I felt at that time I couldn't go to their parents because what were they going to say? We sent you to school, you've got everything, we give you money, we give you everything. So what is it? Why are you not coping? Which would probably have not made sense to them at that time. However, I found that university life was not as accommodating and as sheltering as the life back in high school. So I had to come back, regroup, and I remember I took a gap and fell pregnant 2016. My family, I'm from a Christian family, Christian background. My parents are as bellies and whatever. And now I'm pregnant and not married, which is, yeah, the community and whatever. But then my family was very supportive and they're like, okay, you're not married, we have this kid, but we're here for you. And you are not going to tell us that you have a kid and you can't do anything. So uh, they supported me. The kid, my parent took my kid and said, you are going back to school and I'm not going to debate that with you. And I applied to the University of South Africa where I kind of regrouped and said, okay, I'm going to work. I told myself that in UNISA, because it's a long distance learning, I'm going to be working. I'm going to look nice because I like looking nice. I'm going to look nice. I'm going to have money. I'm going to be that girl. It didn't happen like that. It never happens like that. It didn't. However, and to a certain point, I still could not fit in there. I couldn't balance it out up until Yeah, I don't know how, but I worked through it. I dropped modules left, right, and center, which was very hard. But then the support from my family and a friend, like a sister, we dropped out of university together. Snazamatu, and I'm sorry to name drop. And we got we got together, we talked it out. She was like, yo, I'm stuck too. And we're like, so what do we do? And we made this pledge, like, let's go back. And when you're already there at school, so there's no point for you to drop out again. We can't be starting things that you don't finish. And then we made a pact that I was gonna finish this education that I've already began. And then yeah, from there it's been, yeah, it hasn't been easy. It's still shaky. There are days when I find myself and say, you know what, I'm about to quit. I'm tired. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to look nice. I deserve to smell nice. But it's not happening like that. And it's a process. And I'm glad for the process. And I'm glad I did not make it in the time that I thought I would. Because now I know so much more than I would have at the time, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you
Yes.
wow. Um,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
amazing. I mean, so definitely just from the start, the transition from high school to UJ was, it
yes,
sounded like it was very difficult for you.
it was, it
What
was.
was maybe the top two reasons like that made you so uncomfortable? Um, was it just the size of the university and all of the like did you have any friends there when you first started, or you know what were the biggest challenges?
It is actually funny because the friends that I had in university all met through me because I'm the person I talk a lot, and I'd
Right.
find myself, yeah, I'd be like, hi, Ngqola, you speak too. Oh, hi there. And then, because I'm that friendly and I would talk to people, meet people, and would make friends. But I found myself backing away from them because I was, sorry, so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. Firstly, the kids there, they dress nice. And from the hood where I come from, everybody knew, like, oh, yeah, yeah, she dresses nice. I thought I dressed nice up until I went to university. And I'm there with my sneakers, and I'm like, nah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And you meet seniors there with hair and whatever. Not to say I felt the pressure, but
Mm,
I just felt out of place and didn't feel like I had anybody to talk to, and the workload, and the fact that I had the freedom, the one that I didn't get at school. When you're at school, every teacher is gonna tell you, I want my work now. Back then in varsity and still here in UNISA or varsity, whatever, nobody's gonna go after you saying, hey, that's what's up.
right.
No. So that was the thing. And that's the second thing I found, the freedom. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't have the discipline.
Mm,
Yeah, if I can call it that. I didn't
good.
have the discipline to work with that amount of workload. And there were tutorials. I'd go to tutorials and listen to them talking, and the tutor would be like, but it was on tutorial later. And I didn't know what they were talking about because I didn't want to make friends. The friends that I made were like, hi, hi. And then I'd leave them there and just go hide in the library. There was that fourth floor, I think. There were couches there, just sit there, read nice novels and whatever bunk classes. Please don't tell my dad. So that is what I did. I couldn't transition. It was hard. And I was commuting from home. I'd wake up
Mhm.
at 4 o'clock just to get to an 8 o'clock class where I'd be late, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Wow.
And I didn't feel it at the time. The only thing that I felt was I was alone, which was not nice. And
Right.
so not to blame the university or anything because there was counseling. I think they called it psych. There was
Right.
counseling and whatever. I'd go there and sit in those chairs and then like, nah, man, this is just for white kids, not me. We are not about that life.
I love
You are
the
black, yeah.
honesty.
You ain't going in that class.
I love it. I love it. I mean, goodness. I mean, just hearing that, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
will help others. And then on top of that, the second challenge you had, a child, and you were not expecting that at all. And then you go back to another university and you still had challenges.
Yes, that's
So
freedom.
yeah, so I
Discipline, there was
think
none. Discipline. There
Yeah,
was none.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, no, but I think that that is, something that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
Um, I have a lot of friends who I'm an older mother, right? So I
Yeah.
had my
Beautiful.
child. I'm in my 30s, so with my first child, but my
Yeah.
friends had their children in their 20s, right? And so
I,
they're having issues with, telling them, they're still telling them to do their homework and they're 15, age 16. They're still making them, do their work as if they were 7 and 8 years old. And the way I grew up when I was 14, my father said, it's up to you. So he did not remind me to do anything. So starting at 14, it's up to you, kind of,
yeah. You learned that
Um
independently.
now if I had bad grades or bad marks, I could not do things, right?
Yeah.
But so that kind of taught me, okay, well, it's up to you. But nobody really, like you say, talk about, like, when they go to that big environment and nobody's calling you or chasing you or making you do your work and you
Mhm.
don't have that.
Yeah,
Um,
you're like, okay, then I'm gonna sit. Nobody's busy shouting at me, screaming down at me. Nobody's coming here to whoop my so I'm gonna sit. So I'm just gonna sit
Yeah, so
here.
that's an interesting perspective, and I think I'm just happy that you did not give up. It sounds like you persevere, and you did not give up. You're still working, on your studies right now,
And
and
on myself as well.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think you can inspire a lot of people just by you not giving up, and it sounds like you have another journey ahead of you, so don't give up.
Yeah, I do. I
Um,
do. Yeah.
I love it though. I guess my next question would be, where do you see yourself, after I know you're finishing up, this is your last
Yeah.
year, but what do you want to do next? Like, and what are some of your goals that you have?
I want so much. I want so much. I want to look good. No, I'm joking. What I see myself as, I hope and I pray that I get a job and a job as a teacher because I love teaching. But I'm not sure that's where I want to end. As much as I know I'll have so much and much more impact in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. I want so much from life. I want to a breath, a sigh, a breath of fresh air. Like I want so much, I just can't pinpoint it, and that's one of my challenges. That's where I had challenges when I said I couldn't cope because I'm a great singer. That's what I told myself. I want to sing, I want to act. I think I'm good in drama, and everything at the same time, which is not gonna happen. By the way, if you ask me, it's not gonna happen.
You never
Trust me, it's not.
know.
Never. Is it? Not at the same time. It's a process. So
Right.
I see myself as a teacher. I'm an advocate of change. So I want to teach more than anything. And even if it's not in the classroom, it's wherever I am, I want to inspire people. I want to inspire change. I see myself going back to the rural areas where I grew up and where kids have access to computers, laptops, the digital space. Everything is open to them. It's too much. I want so much. I want equality for everybody. I want financial freedom for everybody. I don't know how I'm about to how I'm gonna do it, but I hope to inspire a mind change or whatever for that to be there. Yeah, I wanna. What
Mm,
do I want? I want so much from life. I want to be at peace with myself more than anything,
mhm.
because some of the biggest challenges that we face is within ourselves. Yeah. So sometimes you wake up and you don't like yourself. I wanna wake up and I see myself waking up and saying, even if I don't feel okay, I'm still good. I'm still nice. And yeah, and a nice car too, and a house, and beautiful kids, and traveling, lots of traveling.
Awesome traveling. Yes, that sounds good. I love it. I definitely love it. Um, and I'm just so happy that you're in this group because I think that you sharing your story and sharing what you want. Still, you're not giving up and you still have aspirations and different dreams. So I'm excited to hear about that. And I just really like your story. I love your story, and you still have a long way to go. So
I do. Yeah.
it's amazing already what you accomplished and what you've been through, and still working at
Yeah.
it. Um, I
Making
guess
progress.
I know you said your motivation. Can you tell us some motivation that you had? I know you said maybe some friends, a friend specifically that you had a pact with. Were there any um I guess family members? I know you said they supported you. Did you have any peers with you, or just anyone else who motivated you to keep going?
Yeah. Too many people. I'm just sorry. I'm just blessed. My dad is my greatest supporters. My greatest supporter. I'm sorry. My dad has always been there. He's always there. He's like, you are not gonna let me down. If you letting yourself down, you are letting me down, child. So my dad is my greatest supporter. It's funny how, not to sideline my mom. My mom is the best, but then you know how it is, how girls get along with their fathers. So there are times when I'm like I said, I want to give up. My dad is like, no, we are not gonna give up. Just need to find focus. So it's my dad, my friend, the one that I mentioned, a brother of mine is Tembele Njobo, is a photographer. Him and I always have the talk. He's like, he always talks like, yo, bruh, this is what's up. You've got so much potential. He also messes up my psych that way because he's like, he believes in me so much to a point where sometimes I feel like I'm failing people that are around me, not to say that whatever, but then I love him for that. I love him for that. He constantly reminds me that you've got so much potential. Just and don't just give up. And a lot of motivation. And I'm sorry, there's this poem by Johanni Matzim. I love poetry, by the way. She says, what's the line that I remember precisely? She says, "A woman is not pregnant, whatever, whatever." But what she says is that she knows she's gonna reap something bigger at the end of the day. She says that there is no way around it. The only way to get through it is to go through it. So you cannot. There are no corners. You can't take corners. You can't cut corners. Forget about cutting corners. There's no way around it. The only way to get through it is to just go through it and just, yeah. So I find a lot of motivational speakers, and Pindim Dlalos as well. I'm sorry, I'm coming to a part where I found this group.
Mm,
Pindim Dlalos, she was a tutor at UJ. She was wonderful. She was a tutor at
yeah.
UJ. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember at a point where I was having one of my breakdowns, and oh, this is gonna sound creepy. I was going through, I was going through her page and her wall, and she said the aim is to go empty to the grave. And so I sat with myself and said, if I have so much potential, what's the use of me going and dying with it? And Maya Angelou says, if you learn, teach.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things. It's a thing that says, I'm not going to go there with these dreams with this much potential if I know I could have helped somebody and just say, no, it's fine, I can. No, the aim is to go to the grave empty, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be sitting, Denzel Washington said this. This is the motivation. He says, you don't want to be sitting there in your grave and your dreams, your aspirations, and everything staring down at you. So, what is the purpose of you to have lived? Do you understand? So that is where it goes. I find solace and peace in that. As much as I might not have the biggest influence, the biggest impact, but one thing I pray to God, and one thing I make sure that I do is that when you sit with me, is you get motivated, or just spark the insight or the idea that it doesn't end here. It doesn't. Yeah.
Wow.
So those are my greatest motivators, and I listen to a lot of motivation because I need it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Well, I guess my last question is, why did you decide to join the group? And it sounds like someone motivated you to join the group. I don't know, maybe. And then what would you like to see in the group?
Okay. What motivated me to find a group, I was still having those down and out moments. So I remember reading a quote that says, close your eyes, picture your life. And anything and everything that is not there, do away with it. So I'm going back to the social media. I don't have a huge social media presence. I don't like social media. It's amazing. I'm sure you see my page. So I just get there and I said, okay, if I'm gonna be looking at this skinny models and saying, oh my God, I'm this fat, oh my God, I want that, oh my God, I'm complaining. That's not what I like. So I did away with it. And I find groups where teachers could talk to each other, young teachers, because there's so much discouragement, especially when somebody asks, what course are you doing? Like teaching, like, you're so smart. Why would you do teaching? There's so much negativity faced with it. So I found a group, young teachers and the young African sisters. So I was like, this is what I want. This is the path that I want to go to. So let me find motivation and people that I could relate to, people that could relate to my story, where I can get motivated, get inspired in everything. And young African sisters, because I'm a African sister, child. Because I'm an African sister. Come on now. So I was like, yeah, I'm very passionate about those things. Like, uh, growing the young woman, like growing and inspiring the young African child, that it does not end here. I don't want to sound racist, but then you don't have to be white to achieve anything or everything you want in life. You can still do it. Yeah. So when I see the group, I would like for lots of people to join because I've found my greatest motivations in this group. They're pilots, African young pilots in this group. And I'm like, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I've got so much dreams, and I would like we were talking about earlier, to have sermons in the group. Sorry, where we can come together as African young women and non-Africans to just talk, share our stories and whatever. We don't have to say, okay, you've accomplished this. And I'm very grateful for the platform because I haven't accomplished anything, but here I am. Come on now. I'm
Oh,
in America.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So, yeah, so we can just come together, talk, share our stories, because sometimes it's not even a matter of finance or needing money or whatever. It's just a simple talk from one sister to another that can just, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had fun.
And
Is it over yet?
yes, it's done. We are finished.
Um,
And yes, we welcome you and all of your answers
yeah.
anytime.
Thank you. I